Very good. We'll move on to question number 2. And for this question, we'll start with Bill Johnson. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, John Adams, and America's other founding fathers understood certainly the values required for a free, peaceful, and prosperous society: individual liberty, economic freedom, and limited government. Individual liberty is the basis of a free society. Liberty means choosing the freedom to control your own life, to work and play as you choose, to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and to practice the religion of your choice, to speak freely and to associate voluntarily with others. That said, should government be in the business of restricting how we spend the fruits of our labor? Should the government be in the business of protecting people from themselves? In this context, are the people of Alabama free enough to decide for themselves whether to allow gambling in the state of Alabama? If so, would you support a referendum allowing Alabamians across the state to make this determination one way or the other?
Well, dang, I hope some of you all have been reading the newspapers, know what my position is on that the last few days. I do support the people of Alabama having a vote on a referendum on gambling, up or down, yes or no. I recently came out this last week voicing concerns that it appeared to me that our governor was being influenced by Mississippi Indian casino owners more and listening more to them than what the citizens in this state want. But I always believe in letting the people vote on the issues. I believe that those decisions made closest to the people are the best decisions. And if elected, while I personally am opposed to gambling and I don't gamble, nonetheless, we look around and we see gambling everywhere, little bingo parlors popping everywhere. I feel like the people ought to, first of all, have a vote on it, yes or no. If it's no, it's no. If it's yes, we're going to regulate it and tax it and control it and move on. Now, I say I have a little time, so I'd like to add one other thing. There's some folks that propose that gambling is going to be somehow some economic salvation for the state. In my perspective, gambling only takes money out of one person's pocket and puts it in another. And yeah, we might have a temporary bump as we keep Alabama citizens here in Alabama, or maybe we get some Georgia, Mississippi, or Tennessee folks coming here. But long term, for the long-term economic benefit of this state, what we really need to focus on is growing our existing industries and expanding our exports. We build M-class automobiles in Alabama that we sell all over the world. People from all over the world are not going to come here to gamble no matter how great a facility we have, right? So our long-term solution to our economic challenges are growing our existing industries and expanding our economy and bringing those dollars back here to support our families.
The people of Alabama always have the right on issues that carry great weight to go to their elected officials and demand that something be put on the ballot. Let's talk. I want to get at this gambling question. We spend a lot of time on it, and frankly, I'm tired of it, but I guess we're just going to have to keep on wrestling this one. If you go to the state of Mississippi, you'll find their budgets are in much worse condition than ours in Alabama. And if we want to have an honest and open debate on gaming, it's fine, we ought to do it. But we shouldn't fall in the trap of believing that gambling is a panacea for anything. It's not. And of course, the people of Alabama always have a right, if the will is there, to get something to the ballot. But every time an issue comes along, you don't necessarily put it on a ballot. Remember, we're a republic. We're not a pure democracy. I do not favor gambling. It is a pariah on the people. It takes from the poor and gives to the rich. Do you think these gambling magnates give a hoot about your children and your grandchildren? All they care about is sucking the blood out of people that can least afford it. And if the gambling crowd, if they have the political muscle to get it to the ballot, so be it. It doesn't even go to a governor. You don't veto constitutional amendments. If the legislature passes it, it goes straight to the ballot. You can't veto it. A lot of times we lose sight of that. But I will campaign strenuously against it because I understand what we're dealing with. The arguments in favor of it are totally and fundamentally dishonest. They will not solve any problems. Macon County Milton McGregor's puppy dog tracks down there. As y'all know, they have all those machines. It is the largest Class II casino. That's the bingo machines, nothing but souped up slot machines. The largest Class II casino in the world, right there on the Macon-Montgomery County line. Now, if it's so good, why is the economy so bad in Macon County?
Dr. Bentley.
I have always been against gambling. I fought the lottery. I voted against the lottery. Since I've been in the legislature, I have never voted for a gambling bill, individual bill. And I will not vote for an individual gambling bill. Gambling hurts the poor more than taxes hurt the poor. And I can tell you, it takes all the money, it skims money off the top of our economy so that we do not have as much money to spend on food, clothing, rent, whatever it is. So gambling is bad for any state. No state benefits from gambling. The only way that you can get gambling money out of gambling is to tax it, or if people work in the gambling industry, then they have to pay taxes. That's the only way the state can benefit. And certainly businesses never benefit from gambling. Gambling is a poor way to fund a state, and I am totally against gambling. Now, having said this, I've been in the legislature now for 7 years, and we are not solving the problem in the state. We are not taking care of this issue of bingo gambling that's springing up de novo all over the state of Alabama. We close some down and then more spring up. So what I think needs to be done is this. We need to allow the people of the state of Alabama to vote yes or no on gambling. And that is particularly for bingo gambling, which is the one that we're having the most problems with. Yes or no? If it's no, we do away with all gambling in the state of Alabama, and that is the only way that we can possibly close down the Indians. You have to do away with all gambling to do that, because then you can take them to court and possibly close them down also. But if it's yes, then we tax it heavily and we regulate it completely.
Thank you.